It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. What's going on, my friends? I'm Alexandra. I'm founder of Life With Herpes. Excited to be here with you as always. Yesterday we were live and I had to bounce pretty quick because it was time to take my little boy to gymnastics. Anyways, if you are new, if you are joining, if you've never been live with me, this is your opportunity to ask your questions about living with herpes. I was diagnosed with herpes in HSV1 in 2003 and HSV2 in 2011. So I've been living with this for decades. I've been dealing with it. I've dealt with outbreaks. I've dealt with the embarrassment. I've dealt with disclosures. I've dealt with dating. I'm married. I'm a mommy. All sorts of things. So this is your opportunity to ask your questions. Like I said, if you're new to this and you haven't been on a live with me before, I get hundreds of questions and I go through them in order that I see them. Sometimes the platform, will not post it. They'll say they're trying to keep the community safe or whatever. So if you asked a question, definitely rephrase it if it doesn't get posted. I think that was it for the housekeeping moments. I was just on a podcast this morning, another one this afternoon, and it was really interesting. It was talking about dating in your 40s and what can happen, and dating in your 30s and things of that nature, and dealing with a personal 9/11, a personal 911. What happens when you're diagnosed with herpes? The embarrassment, the rejection, the shame, everything associated with that, and how do we personally deal with it? So one of the things that I really wanted to bring up, and one of the things I really want to talk about, was educating yourself. Educating yourself when you're diagnosed with herpes, because there's so many misconceptions. There's a lot of like, oh, I didn't know that, or really, that's the case? Well, if I would have known, then this would have been different. So definitely educate yourself on what it's like to live with herpes. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm on this platform, and that's why I'm going live. That's why I'm creating content. That's why I'm answering questions. And that's just my purpose in being here. When I was diagnosed in 2011, there wasn't this opportunity. There was no such thing as live. That didn't exist. And I wasn't able to find the community and find the support that I needed. So again, this is your opportunity to ask your questions. What is it like to date? How do I disclose? What type of supplements can I take? Should I take? What about are there any products that can help? So those are just some questions. What colors are my toes? I got a pedicure. They're just nude like my fingers. I'm a little congested today. That's weird. Nude like my fingers. Anyways, best antiviral med. So obviously I'm not a doctor, so I cannot recommend, prescribe. I can just tell you what I know or what I have taken. I highly encourage you to go do your own education on this. There's a couple of different antivirals you can take. The original, the branded, is Valtrex. That was what was originally created for people living with HSV, living with herpes. And what Valtrex, valcyclovir, acyclovir do, they do not prevent, they do not get rid of the virus. Once we have the virus, we have it for life. So they do not get rid of the virus. But what they do is they help keep the virus dormant. So it lessens transmission rate by 48%. So it does a really good job of doing that. But it does not prevent you from ever transmitting it. It doesn't prevent you from ever getting an outbreak. So I would say try what works for you. I'm just reminding myself to put some lotion on. Try what works for you and see what works best for you. I have only taken valcyclovir, which is the generic version of Valtrex, and that worked for me. I took it for 3 years straight. I no longer take the antivirals because I just decided I don't want to be taking an antiviral. But that's something I don't take. What I do instead is like a little bit more natural, and you can use the natural supplements and the Valtrex together. You can use them side by side, but that's what I do. Yes, it only lessens transmission rate by 48%, which is 48%. It is what it is. But here's what I take, and I take daily. I take lysine. I always talk about lysine. Lysine is an essential amino acid. It's a protein that the herpes virus doesn't like. In fact, it kind of suffocates the herpes virus. It keeps it out of replication. So it's great to take as a prophylactic, as something in to prevent a herpes outbreak, as well as something to take when you have herpes outbreaks. So I take this daily. Miriam, you're saying you have all my supplements. That's awesome. So I take this daily. I also take the Monolaurin. This is lauric acid. The story about Monolaurin, which is kind of interesting, is it was discovered through a researcher or a scientist saying, why is it the babies are born with no immune system and born throughout the world in different sanitary conditions, and how is it they're able to survive? So they found out in human breast milk, not cow, not goat, not sheep, not dog, whatever. In human breast milk, we have what's called as lauric acid. It is branded now as Monolaurin. What it does is it disrupts the outer shell of an enveloped virus. Herpes is an enveloped virus, and so it disrupts the outer shell, and it allows our immune system to go in and penetrate it. So I take this daily to help with herpes, as well as to help with other viruses in my body that could become active or want to become active. So I take this daily. And then I take Andrographis. This is very, very potent and powerful in dealing with the HSV virus. So I take this daily as well. They're all linked for you. You can check them out. I want to remind myself to take my supplements because I have been borderline feeling an outbreak coming on. So these are mine. Just gonna put them here so I remember to take them. You love the oil and it truly helps you a lot. Highly recommended. Thanks, Miriam. Yeah, the oil, I have it in my bathroom right now. That is my favorite as well. I love the oil. Most people love the Rescue Balm, however, but like I said, I love the Everyday Wellness oil because it has tea tree oil in it, and I feel like that's really helpful. But the Rescue Balm really does help with the pain a lot. And there's peppermint oil, eucalyptus oil, lemon balm. So this one's really potent as well. These are all linked for you online, you guys, and you can check them out. Let me go back because I see there's lots of questions that I missed. Guys, thank you for joining me. Also, if you have herpes, you know someone that has herpes, and please share this information with them. Please share my page, share this. If you have not followed me yet, definitely follow me. I go live, I post, I do what I can to just educate and be a support system for you. Mandy is saying she disclosed to a new partner last night. It went very well. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Awesome, Mandy. So exciting. That's awesome. I'm so glad you felt confident and were able to disclose. A lot of times the reason why we don't disclose is A, maybe we don't know we need to disclose, or B, we're just not able to digest the fact that we have herpes and we just don't have that confidence to disclose. Miriam, I'm glad you have all the products and supplements. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said, guys, it is all linked in the bio for you. When's the last time you had an outbreak? I just recently had one. Oh, it was a doozy too. It was a very, very big one. I feel like my body was like purging. I was sick and yeah. How many milligrams is safe to take of lysine? The recommended is 1,000 milligrams. So I would follow either the recommended or ask your doctor. And that's what is recommended. As far as Monolaurin, there are recommended dosages. If you go to monolaurinandmore.com, monolaurinandmore.com, it will let you know like the dosage you should take based on your height, your weight, and what you're trying to do. How do you feel an outbreak coming on? Awesome question, Brandon. So the way that I personally feel it coming on is it can feel like a hot spot, and what I like to describe as is like a rubber band has been snapped on your skin. So like a rubber band snap, that's very painful. So it can feel like that. It can feel like a shock, like electric shock, just a very, like you feel like a zip, is the only way I can describe it. I can feel that. Some people describe it as an itchy feeling. You can also have swollen lymph nodes. You can be fatigued. You can be exhausted. You can feel flu-like symptoms. It's for a lot of people. Have I tried the Vital Herp? No, I have not tried that, Christian. I've not even heard of it. It's from Russia. I have not heard it. When will the Lysine be back in stock? I know, Juana, I was also needing some for myself. I talked to the founder of Natural Cure Labs, which is where I get the supplements from that I was talking about. He said they should be back in stock this week. So I would look for them this week, but I'm in the same boat. I'm out as well. I don't know anything about that from what you're talking about, Christian, from Russia. I haven't heard of it. That's awesome that there is potentially something coming in the future. What was the last supplement you held up? It was called Andrographis. Right here. Andrographis. Like I said, this is all linked for you. You get 10% off, which is awesome. Can you pass it if you're asymptomatic? Unfortunately, you can transmit herpes if you're asymptomatic, meaning you've never had an outbreak. Where's the bio? You have to go to my page and you can click underneath. It says like Life with Herpes. You can click the link there. So yeah, unfortunately you can transmit herpes asymptomatically. Most people are asymptomatic and the virus still sheds. So what viral shedding is when the virus is dormant, it pops up to the surface of the skin wherever you are infected, and that is where you would be contagious. So if you have, if you get outbreaks on your upper lip, that would be where you're shedding. If you get outbreaks on the inside of your thigh, that would be where you're contagious. Oh my God, even with all the supplements? I don't know what that question was. Herpes is a parasite that carries a viral load. You don't have to live with it. People choose this. Juice and herbs only. Yeah, I've heard of people absolutely being able to make it go dormant in their body. So it is something that some people struggle with a lot and tons of outbreaks, and other people are able just to, never get outbreaks. So yeah, I'm glad that works for you with making sure you have herbs and excellent food sources. Have you tried black seed oil or cat's claw? You mentioned that before to me. No, I have not tried it. People, you can be healed from herpes. Thank you. Yeah. At this point, there is no cure for herpes. At this point, we don't have a cure for it, but there are ways to help prevent outbreaks. So there's lots of different ways that everyone can recommend. Someone is saying they did keto for 6 months and then they did not have a cold sore for 3 years. I think it was a protein deficiency. Yeah, you may have some deficiencies in your body. Can you get herpes from sharing a bath towel? I would say it's really hard to get it that way. Could you potentially? Yes, but it's going to be very hard. I have no updates on the herpes vaccine. I personally am not someone that says you should wait for a vaccine. You should live your life, you should enjoy life, and not wait for a vaccine. It could come out 3 years, 5 years, 25 years, and I don't want you to see your life pass you by. It's very interesting that most people have been exposed to herpes, but only some get cold sores or some get genital outbreaks. Exactly. Yes. So anyways, yeah, it is very interesting that some people get outbreaks and some people don't. Some people are asymptomatic, some people are not. How to stop the prodrome. So the prodrome are the sensations that you may get an outbreak. It can be tingles, it can be an itch. I like to take when I feel it, I honestly take my Lysine. And, and I also will use I'll use either the Rescue Balm or the Everyday Wellness directly on the area that I feel the prodrome. So this will help fight it topically, and then the Lysine will help fight it internally. That's personally what I do. My nose, I don't know what's going on. I'm congested for some reason. You made me a lot less freaked out when I got herpes. Haven't had a single outbreak since the first. Also thought my dating life was over, but just to be honest, I just met my husband. Yay! I'm so excited for you. Yeah, my purpose of being here is to educate bring awareness and not let us feel like we're Eeyores. There's no reason to stop dating. There's no reason for you to put yourself in a bubble. There's no reason to set a glass ceiling. There's no reason for you to settle or anything like that. Is there a certain diet I recommend for those with HSV to prevent outbreaks? So I'm not a doctor, I can't recommend things, but what I personally do is I try to eat foods with high lysine. So what I was talking about, lysine is an essential amino acid. It's a protein that helps prevent replication. I do have a free ebook if you want to check it out. It's 21 pages and it does have a list of high lysine foods in it. If you go to the link in my bio, you can download it. It's Outbreak Remedies. And again, it's 21 pages. It does have a list of foods to eat, list of foods to avoid, so things like that. Is it bad not to disclose? I wouldn't say you're bad not to disclose, but it is important to disclose because you could still transmit it. So yeah, put yourself on the other foot. Like if someone didn't disclose to you, would that really feel right? I don't think so. What's my thought on Andrographis? It's something I personally take daily. It definitely helps with the HSV virus. So I take it daily. I have HSV1 and I have HSV only and it had a bad outbreak all over my body, but didn't want another outbreak. How do you prevent it? Stress is a really big thing. Stress, sleep. So there's a lot of lifestyle things we can do. Also, I'd say lysine, so whether you supplement it in your diet or whether you have it in supplements, that's going to be helpful. You just found out you have HSV2. I'm so sorry. I understand. You're in the right spot. I have tons of information for you to go through and watch and educate yourself. Definitely watch my lives, watch for my lives. I do my best to go live as often as possible. Is HPV the same thing? Human papillomavirus, HPV, HSV, HIV, lots of H's, lots of V's. They're not the same. They're all different viruses. HPV, human papillomavirus, is what can potentially cause cervical cancer. It's what they screen for in a PAP. HSV is herpes simplex virus, which is what we're talking about. HIV is what turned into AIDS back in the day. HIV, I can't even tell you the acronyms. Human immuno, I don't even remember what HIV stands for. Is it common to get HSV outbreaks in your groin area? Yes. So HSV herpes genital herpes can be anywhere like below your belly button. It can be on your derriere. It can be on your inner thigh. It can be on your thigh. It can be between your legs. It can be on your tailbone, and it can also be anywhere in that area. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me today. Wow, I'm really blown out on this with this light. Is it common? What about outbreaks in your nose? Yes, it can travel up to your nose as well, because the herpes lives on our nerves, so it can travel. So it may have traveled up to your nose. Absolutely. All right, have a great day. I will see you soon. Yeah, Maria, testing is not recommended. Unfortunately, you specifically have to ask for it. So even if you go in to get tested, you have to specifically ask for HSV. So most people are not getting tested for herpes. All right, guys, have a great day. I will see you soon.